Good morning. Are we dreaming? Okay, I'm awake. All right, so for yesterday's dream, I actually did do a dream recording, but for some reason, my video wouldn't upload to YouTube, and it deleted the whole thing. So I'm gonna go over yesterday's dream, and then I'm gonna go over this morning's dream. So yesterday, it was the second, maybe even the third day in a row that I had actually reached lucidity. So yes, it was really awesome. I had a dream that I was at my childhood home, and I was probably a teenager in this dream, I think. And I saw the neighbor boy on the tractor because it was spring, and he was out tilling the field to prepare it for planting. I grew up living by a lot of like industrial agriculture, and in real life. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so I saw the boy down there, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go flirt with the neighbor boy and just see what's up, go say hi. And it occurred to me, I was like, oh, it's a dream, I can fly over there. And I think that lucidity is a spectrum. At least for me, I'm finding out that it's not that I'm either off or on with lucidity, it's that there's so much in between. I can be a little bit lucid and kind of realize that I'm in a place where I have more control than I normally do, like in waking life. I don't necessarily realize, excuse me, I don't necessarily realize that, oh, I'm dreaming, therefore I can turn my arms into machine guns, or I could become an oak tree, or I could be a cloud, you know. That takes a lot of lucidity. It takes a lot of dream power. But I will often get into the dream state where I realize that I have a little bit of control, so I can do things like flying. But with that little amount of lucidity, flying seems like a pretty reasonable thing to do in quote unquote real life. It seems like something that you should be able to do. And I always thought that I should be able to fly anyway, ever since I was a little kid. So a lot of times in flying dreams, it doesn't trigger full lucidity. It's just a little bit lucidity. So I was flying around, and it was a good dream because I wasn't necessarily as worried about losing my flying abilities. And usually in my lucid dreams, I'm worried about, like, the more lucid I get, the harder it seems to stay, the harder it seems to be to stay afloat in the air. So I think I just flew over to that kid, and I was like, hey, what's up? And I noticed myself like sinking down to the ground. I think at this point I was waking up. So I climbed the air like stairs and got higher and higher and higher. And that was it. That was a good dream. I've been really working on being able to fly the last few days. After that dream, I felt pretty satisfied, so I wasn't really focused on flying dreams last night. I was actually just focused on going to sleep last night. So this morning, I definitely know that I had lots of dreams. I have lots of images, and I have like the feeling of memories, but I don't really have any snippets to recite for most of them. I remember only one dream with details, and it was at night, and we were in this big log cabin, and we had rented it to have some sort of family reunion there, and we were all having this big pizza feast, and there was lots of kids, lots of people of all ages. There was like generations and generations of family and extended family, and So I was just kind of sitting by myself, and then there was this little blonde boy, and he hit another kid, and he was being a little poop head, and then some other relative, I think it might have been my dad or something, came over and picked the kid up and brought him over to me and set him on my lap. Like, this thing is out of control. Here, take it. And I remember being momentarily really angry, and then just as suddenly as the anger came, I felt very calm. And I took the kid, I took him in my arms, and I like folded him up like a little mini blonde hair, blue-eyed accordion. And I was he squished up like this, and I'm looking at him, and I'm asking him how he's feeling, and he's just like, tight-lipped, and so I start guessing how he's feeling. I'm like, oh, you must be feeling this, and you must be feeling this, and he nods, and I said, oh, I saw you did this, so that also might mean you might be feeling this too. Are you feeling this? He nods and won't make eye contact with me, but he nods, and then I start saying, well, when you feel this and you do these things, other people start feeling these feelings too. Do you remember what these feelings feel like? And he nods, and I don't remember exactly what I say next, but we just keep talking about feelings, and we're doing like this little, it was almost like this, it seemed like some premeditated empathy exercise almost. It was like we connected his feelings, and then we'd like start from him, go to another person in the room and connect our feelings with them, bring it back to him, go to another person, connect those feelings, bring it back to him, and so on. And by the end of our little discussion, he had like turned back into like this happy kid, and something about hitting and just aggression and anger and retaliation and owning your emotions, but not, well, I guess not making other people own them. And I was trying to explain that to this kid. Very much felt like I was, talking to a part of me. I can definitely take this advice into myself. But it was very like child psychology type of thing. Just being aware of your emotions. You're not supposed to hit other people. But yeah, that was strange. I don't ever have, I think that's the second dream I've ever had about a child or having a child of my own. I don't know if this was my child in the dream or if it was just some extended family member, but I had a sense of responsibility for this child. So, like, I kind of felt like it was mine, maybe? I don't know. Strange, but yeah, there's our dreams. I thought at first I wasn't having any lucidity, but to have emotional reasoning, I have found that I can't do that unless I have some level of lucidity, and oftentimes that is a trigger for farther lucid levels. I don't know, it's too gosh darn early to talk oh my gosh, I'm ranting now, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I don't even know what I was saying. I think I'm just gonna get out of here. All right. Oh yeah, lucid dream levels, that's what I was talking about. Sometimes sometimes I get into a situation in my dreams that makes me think a lot. But in dreams, usually it's not so much of a philosophical thing or this really brainy situation. Usually in dreams, you're doing stuff. Dreams are very action, action, action. But sometimes I get into a dream situation where it takes a lot of brain power and a lot of thinking, And it's through that thinking I start realizing that I'm lucid, that I'm in a dream. And I think that that was starting to happen in that dream when I was explaining emotional logic to that child. So, yeah, it's working. The dream work is working, and I'm definitely getting better at being lucid, getting better at remembering my dreams. It's been pretty great. So, all right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, do your dream checks. Am I dreaming? I'm not dreaming. I don't think so.